Welcome, dreamer. If you're here, maybe you're tired. Maybe your mind has been spinning for too long. Tonight, let these words be your silence. The city had been holding its breath for years. Its streets, a labyrinth of forgotten dreams and muted hopes. Bent without fanfare, the first ray of change pierced the urban haze. A gentle warmth spread through concrete canyons, as if the buildings themselves were remembering how it once felt to house laughter and life. I wandered the quiet avenues, my footsteps echoing off weathered facades. Each stride a hesitant step, towards a future I couldn't quite grasp. The traffic lights blinked in rhythms I had overlooked, their colors painting fleeting masterpieces on rain-slicked asphalt canvases. Somewhere in the distance, child's laughter dared to break the silence. It rippled through the air, not as an intrusion, but as an invitation. The breeze carried whispers of possibility, of stories waiting to be written, and I realized perhaps this is how cities come alive again. Not with grand redevelopment plans, but with the quiet persistence of people choosing to see beauty in places long dismissed as beyond repair. Memories clung to the corners of my mind, like old posters on abandoned walls, faded but refusing to let go. Each step forward was a negotiation between what was and what could be. The sky above, once a distant ceiling, now seemed to breathe with the city. Its clouds, drifting like thoughts, crossed the urban consciousness. I passed a boarded-up storefront, its windows dark for so long I'd forgotten what once lived inside. But there, in a crack in the pavement, a stubborn dandelion reached for the light. Its yellow petals were a defiant smile, reminder that life finds a way, even in the most unlikely places. I knelt to touch its soft crown, feeling a connection to something both fragile and unbreakable. The city's heartbeat, long muffled, began to whisper in my ears. It spoke of resilience and renewal, the strength found in starting over. I listened to the stories etched in brick and stone, tales of triumphs and failures, of dreams built and abandoned. Each building held a history, each street corner a crossroads of countless lives. The morning light crept higher, painting the world in shades of possibility. Shadows retreated, revealing details long hidden in the gloom of neglect. A mural, once vibrant but now faded, caught my eye. Its colors, though dulled, still spoke of hope and community. I imagined the artist's hands at work, bringing life to blank walls, believing in the power of creation to transform more than just a surface. As I walked, I noticed others emerging, blinking in the newness of the day. Their faces, once strangers, now seemed like pages of the same book, different chapters of a shared story. A shopkeeper swept her stoop, the rhythmic brushstrokes a gentle percussion to the city's awakening symphony. She nodded as I passed, a simple gesture that felt like a thread connecting us to the fabric of urban renewal. In a small park, overlooked and overgrown, an elderly man tended to a tiny garden. His gnarled hands moved with purpose, coaxing life from soil long thought barren. I paused to watch, mesmerized by the care he lavished on each fragile seedling. He looked up, catching my gaze, and smiled a smile that spoke of years, of tending to hope in the face of decay. "It's not much," he said, "but it's a start. His words echoed in my heart, a mantra for the rebirth of a city. I continued on, my steps lighter now, buoyed by the small acts of faith I'd witnessed in the morning's journey. The city no longer felt like a maze of dead ends, but a canvas awaiting new strokes of life. At a crosswalk, I stood beside a young woman, her arms full of art supplies. She spoke of plans to brighten blank walls, to bring color to forgotten corners. Her enthusiasm was contagious, a spark that could ignite a blaze of change. We parted ways, but her energy lingered, a reminder that transformation often begins with a single person daring to imagine a world more vibrant than the one they inherited. As the day grew brighter, so did the city's pulse. Our people filled the streets, their voices, a growing chorus of possibility. I saw smiles exchanged between strangers, heard laughter spilling from open windows. The aroma of fresh bread wafted from a bakery, its doors open for the first time in months. The owner stood proudly in the doorway, offering samples to passers-by, each bite a taste of community reborn. I accepted a warm roll, savoring the flavor, a tradition mixed with new beginnings. The simple act of breaking bread felt like a ceremony, a blessing for the day unfolding before us. In a vacant lot, now cleared of debris, a group gathered with shovels and seeds. They worked together, turning soil, planting the roots of a community garden. Their laughter and chatter filled the air, a soundtrack of collective hope. I watched as they transformed the space, barren earth giving way to neat rows of future vegetables and flowers. Each seed planted was a promise, a commitment to nurturing growth, in more than just the soil. As the morning stretched into afternoon, I found myself back where I'd started. The city, though physically unchanged, felt fundamentally different. It was as if a veil had been lifted, revealing the potential that had always existed beneath the surface of neglect. I realized then that renewal isn't always about tearing down and rebuilding. Sometimes it's about seeing with new eyes. It's about recognizing the beauty and strength that persists even in the face of adversity. The city had been speaking all along, in the language of resilience and hope. It just took a moment of quiet listening, of opening our hearts to its whispers, to hear the story it longed to tell. As I stood there, taking in the scene, I felt a shift within myself as well. The cynicism that had clouded my vision began to dissipate, replaced by a cautious optimism. I saw now that every small act of care, every moment of connection and creativity was a thread in the tapestry of urban renewal. We were all weavers in this grand design, contributing our own unique patterns. The day's journey had shown me, that healing doesn't always announce itself with fanfare and grand gestures. Often, it creeps in quietly, in the spaces between breaths, in the pauses between heartbeats. It comes in the form of a dandelion, pushing through concrete, in the smile of a stranger, in the aroma of fresh bread, in the laughter of children rediscovering play. As the sun reached its zenith, bathing the city in golden light, I felt a sense of peace settle over me. The urban landscape, once a symbol of decay, now pulsed with the promise of rebirth. Knew then that this was just the beginning, that true transformation would take time, patience, and the collective will of many. But for the first time in years, I believed it was possible. The city exhaled, releasing years of stagnation. K, and inhaled the fresh air of possibility. K and I, standing witness to this subtle awakening, felt my own spirit stirring, K, ready to join in a dance of renewal. For in the end, cities are more than just buildings and streets and infrastructure. They are living, breathing entities, shaped by the dreams and actions of those who call them home. And as I turned to face the day ahead, carried with me the knowledge that every step forward, every act of kindness and creation was a brushstroke in the masterpiece of urban regeneration. The city's heartbeat grew stronger, a rhythm of hope and possibility, and I found myself moving in time with it, ready to play my part in the symphony of a community coming back to life. The city sleeps beneath a veil of stars, but I am wide awake. The streetlights flicker like distant memories, casting shadows that once held me captive. I used to chase those shadows, believing they held the answers I sought. Now I stand still, observing. The night air carries whispers of possibility, untainted by the echoes of my past. I breathe it in, filling my lungs with the promise of a new dawn. Once I would have run from this silence, seeking solace in the chaos of neon-lit streets, but tonight I embrace the quiet, finding strength in its gentle embrace. The wind rustles through empty branches, carrying away the last remnants of doubt. I feel lighter with each step, unburdened by the weight of expectations. Siren wails, a reminder of the world I'm leaving behind. Its urgency no longer pulls at me, for I found my own path to follow. The pavement stretches out before me, a canvas waiting to be painted with the colors of my choosing, no longer bound by others' brushstrokes. I pass by familiar haunts, places where I once sought refuge. Their allure has faded, placed by the clarity of self-discovery. The moon hangs low in the sky, as a silent witness to my transformation. Its light illuminates the road ahead, revealing truths long hidden in shadows. I pause at a crossroads, not out of indecision, but to savor the freedom of choice. Every direction holds possibility. The city's heartbeat pulses beneath my feet, a rhythm I no longer need to match. My own cadence emerges, steady and sure in its uniqueness. Reflections in storefront windows show a face I'm learning to recognize. Its eyes clear, shoulders straight, no longer shrouded in the mist of uncertainty. The night air carries the scent of rain, washing away the last traces of hesitation. I welcome the cleansing droplets, each one a baptism into this new self. Street signs point to familiar destinations, but their meaning has changed. What once seemed like endpoints now appear as mere waypoints on a greater journey. The horizon begins to lighten, hints of dawn breaking through the darkness. I feel no rush to greet it, content in this moment of transition. My footsteps echo in the empty streets, a solitary sound that no longer feels lonely. Each step is a declaration, a choice to move forward on my own terms. I pass by the park where I used to hide, its benches now bathed in soft moonlight. The shadows that once offered false comfort have retreated, leaving only open space. The city's skyline looms ahead, a silhouette against the lightning sky. Its towers no longer intimidate, but stand as markers of how far I've come. A stray cat crosses my path, its eyes reflecting the streetlights. We share a moment of understanding, two souls navigating the night on their own terms. The first birds begin to stir, their songs a gentle reminder of life's persistence. I listen, not with longing, but with appreciation for their simple truths. A gust of wind carries the scent of coffee, wafting from a cafe preparing to open. Once, I would have sought refuge there. Now, I savor the aroma and keep walking. The streets begin to fill with early risers, their purposeful strides a contrast to my wandering. I feel no need to match their pace, comfortable in my own rhythm. A newspaper stand comes to life, headlines proclaiming the day's importance. I glance at the bold print, no longer swayed by its urgency. The sun peeks over the horizon, painting the sky in hues of possibility. I turn my face to greet it, feeling its warmth on skin anew. A jogger passes by, lost in their own world. Here, buds blocking out the city's awakening. I smile, remembering when I too sought escape, now finding peace in presence. The air shifts, carrying the promise of a new day, filled with potential and unmarked by past regrets. Breathe deeply, filling my lungs with the crisp morning air. A street sweeper rumbles past, clearing away the night's debris. I watch it go, seeing in its task it's a metaphor for my own cleansing journey. The city's tempo increases, a crescendo of life and movement. I remain steady in my own pace, no longer pulled by its frantic energy. A group of friends stumbles by, their laughter echoing off building walls. I remember nights like theirs, but feel no longing to return. The smell of fresh bread wafts from a bakery, a simple pleasure I'd once overlooked. I paused to appreciate it, finding joy in life's small offerings. A bus lumbers past, windows steamed with the breath of morning commuters. I watch it go, grateful for the freedom to choose my own destination. The sun climbs higher, chasing away the last vestiges of night's embrace. I stand taller in its light, no longer seeking shadows for comfort. A child's laughter rings out from a nearby playground, pure and unencumbered by life's complexities. I smile, remembering the simplicity of joy found in the present moment. The city stretches and yawns, shaking off the remnants of slumber. I feel my own awakening, a rebirth with each step forward. A street musician sets up their gear, preparing to serenade the morning crowd. I listen to the first tentative notes, appreciating the courage to be heard. The sidewalk fills with purposeful strides, a river of humanity flowing towards their days. I stand apart, not isolated, but centered in my own journey. A construction site roars to life. The sound of progress and change I see in its scaffolding and cranes, reflection of my own rebuilding. The aroma of street food fills the air, vendors preparing for the day's trade. I inhale deeply, savoring the richness of a world experience with clear senses. A flock of pigeons takes flight, startled by a passing car's horn. I watch their graceful arc, finding beauty in their momentary freedom. The city's pulse quickens, a living entity coming fully awake. I feel my own heart beating in time, no longer racing to keep up. A street artist begins their work, chalk scraping against concrete. I pause to watch, appreciating the act of creation in the moment. The morning light catches on windows, turning the city into a kaleidoscope. I see in its fractured beauty, a mirror of my own multifaceted self. A group of tourists consults a map, faces bright with anticipation. I remember my own journey of discovery, still finding wonder in familiar streets. The scent of rain lingers in the air, reminder of nature's presence in the urban landscape. I breathe it in, feeling connected to something greater than the city's boundaries. The clock tower chimes the hour, its sound rippling through the morning bustle. I listen, not bound by its measure, but appreciating the marking of moments. The city unfolds before me, a tapestry of lives intertwined. I see my place within it, distinct yet part of the whole. A leaf drifts down from a nearby tree, landing softly at my feet. I pick it up, marveling at its intricate design, a small piece of nature's art. The morning rush begins to ebb, leaving pockets of calm in its wake. I find myself in one such oasis, centered amidst the urban flow. A bookstore opens its doors, its scent of paper and possibilities spilling out. I pause, drawn by the promise of stories, but content with the one I'm living. The sun climbs higher still, warming the concrete beneath my feet. I feel its energy seeping into me, fueling each step forward. A street sign points in multiple directions, offering choices and possibilities. I stand before it, not lost, but open to where the day might lead. The city breathes around me, cueing dreams and exhaling reality. I breathe with it, in harmony, no longer fighting against its rhythm. As the morning unfolds into day, I find myself at a familiar corner. The street is the same, but I am not. The world stretches out before me, vast and full of possibility. I take a deep breath, and step forward into the light. In the quiet corners of my mind, I've built a sanctuary, line by line, a refuge from the clamor and the noise, where whispered thoughts become my only voice. Each wall is formed from fragments of my soul, pieces too precious for the world to hold. This space, my fortress, shelters tender dreams, a haven where my spirit gently gleams. The windows here are sealed with careful thought. It's not barring danger that the world has brought, but guarding secrets, soft and silver bright, that flourish best in gentle, filtered light. Thick curtains hang, a veil of soft repose, allowing just enough light to expose the contours of my solitude's domain, where silence reigns and peace can slowly reign. A chair stands sentinel in shadowed space, molded by countless hours of my embrace. It knows the weight of contemplation's art, the silent language of a pensive heart. Upon my desk, a scatter of white leaves bear witness to the stories no one reads. These fragile truths, too delicate to share, rest safe from prying eyes and careless care. Beside them sits a cup of cooling tea, a quiet marker of eternity. Its stillness speaks of moments stretched and slow, where urgency has no place to grow. Beyond these walls, the world may cheer and shout, applauding spectacles I've done without. But here, within this hushed and hallowed room, silence blooms like flowers in the gloom. At night, the walls inhale and exhale soft, keeping storms and tempests high aloft. Yet, when my spirit thirsts for nature's tears, they let the gentle rain soothe all my fears. Around my neck, a key hangs ever near, not out of dread that others might appear, but as a reminder of the times I have found my own self knocking, seeking sacred ground. This room remains a locked and guarded space until I'm ready to unveil my face, to throw the windows wide and let the breeze carry my essence through the waiting trees. For now, I tend this garden of the mind, where thoughts grow wild and feelings intertwined. Each day, I nurture strength within these walls until the world beyond no longer calls. The desk lamp casts a warm and mellow glow, illuminating words that ebb and flow. Across the page, my pen traces the path of dreams too fragile for the aftermath, of sharing with the world that might not see the delicate constructions built by me. So here they stay, protected and pristine, a private gallery of might have beens. The bookshelf stands a sentinel of lore, each volume holding worlds to explore. But even these remain at arm's length now, as I create the stories I allow to shape my days and color my nights. It's free from external judgment or insights. This bibliography of self unfolds in chapters only I am meant to hold. The mirror on the wall reflects a face that's known the value of this quiet space. Eyes that have seen beyond the veil of noise to find the core of simple, lasting joys. A face that's learned to wear both smile and frown without the need for witness or renown. For in this room, all masks can fall away, revealing truths that daylight keeps at bay. The clock ticks softly, marking time's slow dance. But here, each moment gets a second chance to be examined, treasured, or released. As minutes stretch 2 hours of inner peace. No rushing stream of seconds floods this place. Time moves as gently as a lover's grace, allowing thoughts to ripen and mature, unhurried by the world's demanding lore. A candle flickers in the corner's shade, its flame a beacon of the choice I've made to cultivate this inner sanctum's light, even when darkness presses in at night. Its steady glow, a reminder of the fire that burns within, of passions and desire, tempered now by wisdom's cooling touch, but ready to ignite when it's too much. To stay confined within these sheltering walls, when life beyond insistently calls. For though this room has been my safe retreat, I know there's more than silence to complete. The story of a soul that's meant to shine, not just within this carefully crafted shrine, but in the world where chaos reigns supreme, where my unique light has yet to gleam. So day by day, I strengthen my resolve to let this cocoon slowly dissolve. Not all at once, but bit by careful bit, allowing slivers of the world to fit into the space I've guarded for so long, until I feel my spirit grow so strong that I can stand before an open door and step out onto life's uncertain shore. But for now, this room remains my own, a place where seeds of courage have been sown, where I can face my shadows and my fears and learn to trust the wisdom of my years. The key I wear becomes a talisman, not just of locks, but of the strength I am, reminding me that I alone can choose when to remain and when to cut loose. From this cocoon of introspection's art, to spread my wings and make a brand new start, knowing that whatever comes to be, this inner sanctum will remain in me. a touchstone and a harbor I can find. Whenever life's complexities unwind my thoughts and leave me seeking solid ground, where truth and self-acceptance can be found. So I will cherish this created space, this room that bears the imprint of my face, till the day I feel the time is right to open windows to the world's full light. And when that moment comes, I'll step outside, with all the strength this solitude supplied, ready to meet the world on my own terms, with roots grown deep and wings unfurled and firm. For now, I'll rest within this quiet bower, nurturing my spirit hour by hour, until the day my inner fire burns bright enough to stand in the full glare of light, and share the gifts this solitude has grown, the wisdom and the beauty I've been shown, in this small room where I have come to be, the truest version of myself, set free. The city sleeps, a gentle hush, falling over streets once alive with chaos. I stand at the edge of familiar shadows, remembering the pull of neon promises. Those glowing signs used to beckon, her siren song, a melody I knew by heart. But tonight, their colors seem muted, distant echoes of a life I've outgrown. I breathe in the cool night air, as crisp and clean, untainted by the haze that once clouded my every step. The absence of smoke is a revelation. My feet carry me forward, each step a quiet rebellion against the gravity of old habits. I feel lighter with every block I pass. The sidewalk stretches before me, a ribbon of possibility unspooling. Into the darkness, I follow its path, no longer afraid of where it might lead. Street lamps cast pools of light, islands of clarity in the urban night. I step from one to the next, illuminated moments strung together. In shop windows, I catch glimpses of a stranger who looks familiar, eyes clear, posture straight, no longer bent by invisible burdens. The city's heartbeat thrums beneath my feet, a rhythm I once mistook for my own. Now I walk to the cadence of my breath, steady and sure, a tempo all my own. Memories flicker at the edges of my vision, like old film reels threatening to unspool. But I keep my gaze fixed ahead, refusing to be drawn into their dance. The night air carries whispers of laughter, fragments of joy from lives still intertwined with the places I've left behind. For a moment, nostalgia tugs at my sleeve, but I shake it off like morning dew, choosing instead the crisp certainty of this new path I'm forging. The past can keep its smoky embrace. I pass doorways that once seemed like sanctuaries, portals to escape the weight of the world. Now, they're just thresholds, nothing more, no longer holding the power to tempt or trap. The city's skyline etches itself against the stars, a jagged silhouette of dreams and ambitions. I look up and see constellations clear and bright, no longer obscured by self-made clouds. My fingers, once stained with ash and regret, now trace the outline of possibility in the air. I'm painting my future with invisible strokes, each gesture a declaration of intent. The wind whispers through empty alleyways, carrying the ghosts of conversations past. I listen for a moment, then let them fade, choosing instead the silence of my own thoughts. In this quiet, I find a strength I'd forgotten, a resilience born from countless battles, fought not against others, but against myself. Victory tastes sweet on this night air. I come to a crossroads, literal and metaphorical, where once I might have hesitated, torn. Now I choose my direction without pause, confident in the compass of my own heart. The city stretches out before me, a landscape of potential and promise. I see it with new eyes, unclouded by illusion, every street a path to somewhere I've yet to be. My shadow falls long behind me, a reminder of the self I'm leaving in my wake. But it's not a haunting presence, just a marker of how far I've come, how much I've grown. I pass a bar, its windows fogged with laughter, the clink of glasses, a siren song of belonging. For a heartbeat, I feel the pull of old comforts, but I keep walking, steady in my resolve. The neon signs flicker and fade, their false warmth no longer a beacon. Carrying my own light now, a quiet flame that needs no external fuel to burn bright. In the distance, I hear the low rumble of trains carrying night owls and early risers alike. I'm neither now, existing in this in-between, this liminal space of transformation. The city's rhythm syncs with my heartbeat, a duet of urban life and personal rebirth. I'm no longer fighting against the current, but flowing with my own inner tide. I pass a fountain, its water still and reflective, a mirror to the sky and to my own face. I pause, seeing myself clearly, perhaps for the first time, no longer distorted by the funhouse mirrors of the past. The water's surface ripples with a sudden breeze, breaking the image into 1,000 fragments. But when it settles, I'm still there, whole and unbroken, a testament to the strength I found within. Continue on, leaving no footprints behind, yet feeling the weight of each step forward. Okay, this journey isn't measured in miles or blocks, but in the moments of clarity between breaths. The horizon begins to hint at dawn, a pale glow promising a new day. I feel no rush to meet it, content in this moment, this space between what was and what will be. The city sleeps, a gentle hush. My hands, once restless for distraction, now hang calm at my sides, fingers relaxed. I've let go of the need to grasp at smoke, finding solidity in my own presence. The city begins to stir around me, early risers emerging to greet the day. I feel a kinship with them now, fellow travelers on paths of their own making. I reach a park, its gates just opening, inviting me into a world of green possibility. I step onto the grass, dukest and new, each blade a reminder of life's resilience. Here, surrounded by nature's quiet strength, I feel the last tendrils of old habits fall away. I stand tall, rooted like the trees around me, no longer swaying to winds of doubt. The sky lightens, stars fading one by one, but I don't mourn their passing. I know now that their light remains, constant whether I can see them or not. As the first rays of sun touch my face, I close my eyes, basking in the warmth. It's a heat that comes from without and within, a perfect harmony of self and world. I open my eyes to a day full of promise, the path ahead, clear and inviting. I take a deep breath, filling my lungs with air that tastes of freedom and possibility. With a smile, I step forward into the light, leaving behind the shadows of the night. I carry with me only what I need: hope, strength, and the warmth of my own spirit. The city awakens fully now, a new day begun. But for me, it's more than just another sunrise. It's the dawn of a life reclaimed, rediscovered, where every step is a choice and every breath a gift. I walk on, no longer lost in the haze, but found in the clarity of my own resolve. The journey continues, but now I know I am the fire, and I light my own way. You've made it here. You've listened. You breathed. Can maybe, just maybe, you felt a little less alone in the quiet. Let this calm stay with you. Let the night wrap around you like a promise. And remember, even the fleeting can be eternal. These words helped you drift tonight. Stay close. There's more waiting for you in the next glow. Good night.